two really great players going at it here who've been doing really well today. And this is it. This is the match. Colby got to be feeling a little bit more comfortable with that one extra prestige point from his win earlier. So,
and it should be said that Aaron does have a higher strength of schedule than Colby. So if he wins and if he wins both games here, he's going to overtake him on strength of schedule.
Yeah, he could even overtake Alec, depending on how that game goes against Pacer. So we'll try and keep you updated with that as well as we go.
All right, and we're starting out here an Astrolabe from Colby and prepaid. Not uncommon, and Aaron has already iced up HQ and R&D. And, oh, Colby's starting out with 2 prepaids.
It's a pretty good start in any prepaid Kate to get the 2 things that the deck is named for out early.
Well, one of them, you lay on the board at the start of the game.
That's fair.
We didn't really cover Colby in our players to watch segment earlier. I mean, he does play several LCGs, and he is a fantastic player. Netrunner, I think he's kind of sat on the sideline for a little bit. He had some issues at the end of regionals last year that kind of, I guess, put him on tilt, but he's been back in the last few weeks, and he has been picking up right where he left off. Very creative deck builder, so I think when we get to his NBN, we're going to see a little bit of that. But for right now, he's just showcasing a basic prepaid Kate, I think. Running archives there with the dirty laundry.
And I think it's also important to mention that, not to pat ourselves on the back too much, but in the top 5 we have Pacer, Aaron, and Ahmed. So, 3 of the 4 people we talked about.
We kind of called
beforehand. I mean, we might be good at our jobs. So Aaron drawn up after Colby runs in for some dirty laundry money. And again, against Kate, we sort of saw this earlier. Kate is happy to sort of sit there and get her rig out and come at you. And so Aaron, as we can see, has some agendas in hand, might be trying to score a couple of those pretty early before Kate gets set up.
No, is this the same match Aaron's been playing all day? Has he not played against Kate every time he's been on our stream? Who was he against first round?
I can look at that. He was playing against Michael.
Oh, no, Michael would not, yeah. He's just been playing Shapers all day.
Yeah.
All right, Colby.
And round 3, when he played Ahmed, actually. That's the one we saw on camera.
Yeah.
That's when he played Kate. So, yeah, should be familiar for him.
Hedge Fund. No, Colby's up there at 19 credits. Pretty good. Now, Colby's running Cyber Cipher, and that is something I don't really see out of prepaid Kate a lot.
It's weird. It's exciting. It's something you see out of Professor a lot, actually, and I think Michael was running one of those in his Professor deck. So
yeah, I mean, I like it out of Exile or any deck that's running a lot of scavenge, test runs, things like that. But I'm not used to seeing those out of Kate, so maybe he put his own spin on it. I've never known Colby just to play the standardized version of a deck, so I'm curious to see what he does here. Puts out Dogbreaker to get through Eli. Pops it and accesses nothing. Okay. But let's see. I want to see if he has a Maker's Eye or something here. I don't think so, otherwise he would have played it. Colby not one to make a lot of play mistakes in a game.
Yeah.
Oh, he does have that scavenge in hand.
I always have to wonder, how worth it is to play those multi-access events so early when you don't really know necessarily where the agenda density is. Aaron gonna res only to pop up. Colby sees the restructure, which Aaron's gonna want to be playing soon here.
He has a Beal sitting in his hand.
Yeah, I think he just drew that, which I think means he has 2 in hand actually. So he just takes money for this turn, gets up to 10 in that restructure range.
Now Colby knows he's in that restructure range, so I'm not sure if he's going to try to
make him res some ice or something.
Yeah, run HQ there.
But that being said, on only 6 money himself, he doesn't have a whole lot to play with.
But what are you worried about out of NBN that's going to be that dangerous?
That's fair. I guess
Tolbooth attacks you a little bit, but
yeah, I guess he'd be more worried about sort of slowing his tempo down, trying to get stuff installed, and
But
we'll see. He did spend most of this turn drawing.
SMC comes out here, And back to R&D. Still none of the multi-access. But, I mean, he's not worried about using those dog counters right now. Like I said, he has that scabbage in hand, so he can get it back.
He's going to discard Deus Ex.
And as much as I'm not a promo junkie, Colby is a promo junkie. If you look, he has that Chronos Protocol tour that obviously none of us over here in the States got to play in. Aaron, toll boots in hand, lots of ice, winning APD.
So he installs above R&D after playing the restructure. And you got to think he's going to think about trying to sneak one out, maybe. If he's afraid of Colby being able to get in to HQ. Day job, well, he gets an extra turn.
Let's see if he can capitalize on that and do something big with his extra credits.
Just drew yet another agenda.
Oh, this can't be good. Let's see. Colby.
There's the Jackson, though, and that's what he needs. He knows it, he slams it down, and he draws. There's a sweeps and another Jackson, so. Got to be feeling a little bit better now that he's sort of streamlined his hand a little bit.
I think he still held on to one of those agendas, maybe the Beal.
Yeah.
Colby's still not sure here. He has that Cyber Cipher still in his hand, but none of these ice have been rezzed. You know, there's a code gate that he wants to put that on. Another one of those situations where he has cards in his hand that are pretty good for that mid game. I'm expecting to see the. Oh, Aaron pops it. Sorry. Show some Draco and Flare. I think Aaron has a few one-ofs in this deck that are really interesting. I think the Draco is one of. I think the Flare is one of. Ouroboros, he has a couple of. He has some interesting pieces of ice in this deck. Colby getting resituated here. Running HQ, trying to spend some of the money, and there he goes, another Eli. So now you're getting a little more worried about those dog breakers once you see the second Eli come up. Oh my goodness.
Hey, what's up? That's us.
I think we lost the stream. Okay, there we go.
We're good.
We're back. Pay no attention to the men behind the curtain. All right, back in the action here. Colby goes on through. I assume he did not find anything out of HQ there. Sweeps league. Colby stayed down at 4 on purpose.
It's like when you're playing against Vigil. You never want to end your turn with a full hand. You want to deny them that little bit of advantage.
And Colby is going to take every advantage. He's one of those players that runs and gets all of the edge money, all of the little tokens here and there, and ultimately adds up over the course of the game.
Yeah.
Runs back again, uses his last dog breaker. And pulls, there we go, pulls the veil out.
Someone getting a phone call. On the line, too.
Put a token here, so I'm not sure what he's trying to.
I think he's just keeping track of his clicks with that.
Where he's going. Yeah. Okay.
So 2 is going to be run that remote. And there's
it's a flare. 9
Not
cost, 6 strength, 1 subroutine, does 2 meat damage, trashes piece of hardware, and ends the run with a trace. But
not going to be easy for Colby to get through, to say the least. Could be a. Oh, sounds like he's eating it.
No, I think he was trying to pull that DSX out and realized it was not what he thought it was.
Interesting that he didn't pay for the trace.
You mean DSX should get rid of the AP subroutines.
But he didn't have a
clone chip. He doesn't have a clone chip. He has SMC. He can pull out of his deck. Yep.
But if it's only trace 6, I mean, I guess it's trace 8 by default. He could have broken that.
He could, but I don't know if he has anything in his hand that he was really going to miss. He doesn't have. I mean, his only hardware is Astrolabe, which is a 1
and the
note to play.
prepaids.
Yeah, that's what he lost. I don't know. At the end, as opposed to paying a giant 8 credits, that was probably the lesser of 2 evils for Colby. We see a Mimic, we see a Levy, we see that Scavenge still sitting there. And Aaron, I think, is decided that that is a secure server, so he's going to install over there. Colby plays the clone ship. Two scavenging, putting the dogs back out. So reloads that up to 4 credits. Or up to 4 tokens, sorry, not credits.
Draws an Atman.
And
although that's not actually going to be necessarily ideal for him, because now that takes away one more thing you might want to clone ship. Although with wraparound out, you can probably go get a corroder and be fine.
He pops it. Goes to find. Oh, he's going to go find a parasite to kill the wraparound. Okay, done. Looks like he's going to run back into R&D. Yep. And doesn't find anything.
That's what Aaron wants to hear. That being said, it's giving Colby information. So.
And Aaron down to Colby down to 6 credits here. Prepaid in the trash.
Aaron gonna be feeling pretty comfortable with the money situation, and he's got, it looks like, that Sand in hand. He draws a Beal and a Viper, so more ice, and then more money. And I'd be surprised if we didn't see another ice installed above R&D. Yep. Not sure whether that was the toll booth or the Viper. It looked like one of them.
And now I wonder if Aaron, like he has the Sanson City grid in hand. Colby is down low enough that if he puts it out naked and lets Colby trash it, he's going to be in a very awkward range of that one.
That being said,
yep. Ignore all my previous comments.
He should be tapping. Yep, the prepaid with it. Okay.
There we go. I was going to say you could put it out there and try to break him and score out that Beal, but takes another shot at HQ. Parasites out the
clone ships out the pop-up. Clone ships out the parasite for the pop-up.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to say, folks. It's been a long day. Sees a Viper.
Thank goodness there's no cut.
So it looks like the toll booth is what's been dropped in front of R&D. And now Aaron might consider actually, I was going to say, bluffing out an agenda by by popping the Jackson and dropping something in, but
an Astro script.
There's an Astro in hand, so he's going to ice up HQ further.
Colby draws another dog.
Wow, perfect timing for him. He was going to need that soon.
He wants to look at Aaron's archives, see what's been discarded. Oh, he's checking the influence here, seeing if he needs to be worried about a Scorched. I don't think he...
Yeah, I think seeing that flare could send you that signal, sort of, that there could be a Scorched. Although seeing 2 Elis and a blue level should probably hint away from that. But you always got to ask the question against those NBN tagging decks, whether or not that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, Eli is only 1 influence, so you can pack 3 and still put a few Scorches in there, but between the green level and the blue level, I don't think that's very likely. And Colby, I think, trying to figure out, runs into a toll booth. Takes 3, and I think that'll be his last R&D run for a few minutes. So he goes and finds a FEM or some way to deal with that.
Yeah, and that's actually going to help Aaron into a little bit of a scoring window by knocking some of Colby's money off. Although, again, knowing Kate, she'll find a way to get it right back.
Well, he doesn't have way in his hand. He's got Atman and Levy in his hand, and Mimic.
Right.
What looks like another Astrolabe. Going to see what's in front of HQ. And a Viper. And now that Atman's probably going to come into play.
Yep.
Let's trace fire to you lose a click, I think. He's going to let it stop him, it looks like.
And then he's going to spend the money, spend 3 to put the trace up to 6. The last one.
Out.
And Colby's going to let it go.
All right, Aaron safe for another turn. Pops Jackson, I think, yeah, he's about to try to utilize that scoring window there.
Yeah, I think he meant to do that before the draw, but he'll go ahead and...
Not the end of the world?
Yeah, not the end of the world. Unless, of course, there's another agenda, which puts him in not a great spot. He's going to take back 2 hedges, I think, and a blue level, or maybe a hedge, a restructure, and a blue level. Didn't quite catch that middle card.
And Aaron maybe feeling a little more confident than he might need to. I mean, he doesn't see an SMC out. He doesn't see a code gate breaker out. And he knows there's only one more dog breaker. He doesn't know that Colby has the 4 strength admin in it, or has the admin in his hand that we can only assume is going to go to 4 strength.
And he will score out that Astro.
Yeah. And the squeeze is on.
Although sitting low on money now. On
Does he have any money?
0.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't see a dice there.
0 money.
But I mean, all his dice is res. He doesn't need the money,
Right.
Immediately.
Although we do know that Colby does run a Crescentus in this deck.
And he just found a lucky find too.
Oh wow, it's a big deal.
Was going to play the same thing. Thinks better of it.
So draw and then lucky find.
7
for the rest of his
credits.
turn, which again gives Aaron a chance to get some money back.
That's
And
only the first 2 clicks, so Colby can still.
I think first 2 were draw, and then last 2 were lucky find. So Aaron can spend the turn getting money, and then if Colby doesn't trash that San, we know he can score out the Beal. And even if he does, frankly, there's an Astro script out, so you got to feel pretty confident if you're Aaron.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if Colby is playing any clots in here.
It's a good card, I hear.
And yet, we've only seen it for 1 match today.
Yeah.
And boy, did it do work in that match.
Now, the other thing that's important to note here is that if Colby does run in and trash that, Aaron just drew a second San.
And that's just the worst feeling.
Yeah.
You trash San, they play a new one or turns it out.
I was playing Ross back in October at Tower for 2nd place, and he won in the space of 4 turns because the perfect draw combined with me having to trash a San is rough as a runner.
Yeah, NBN can do some crazy things, but hopefully this pack has slowed them down.
Yeah.
Just enough to make it a better game.
Yeah, and I think the runners have been getting better and better tools. I'm insistent that the corp advantage is virtually non-existent now, though stats tend to disagree with me. I think runners are a lot stronger now.
I think the game is in a good place when the runners are just a hair stronger than the corp. And he's going to push out that Beal also.
Second Astro.
No, second Astro he just drew.
So that's a big deal.
That is almost. Oh, and you hear Aaron just saying sorry. Like he knows. This is one of those moments where you just feel dirty, even being on the positive end, being on the corp end.
So that means Aaron's pretty much going to be on 6 points at this next turn. Colby's draws a maker's eye, but
I mean, do we know if Aaron has an in-turns and he can just shut the game out in 2 turns? Not an in-turn, sorry, a fast track. That's a card I've been seeing a little less of lately. Not a lot.
Yeah, I play it in my 6 agenda Blue Sun, but it doesn't matter because I flood out anyways.
I don't need any more agendas, thanks.
It's unbelievable. It's amazing.
And Dan is already calling this game.
A valid question. Where is his clot? It's necessary right now. He needs it.
I don't know.
But he's accessing HQ.
I don't know that he's running it.
They're talking about how much it costs him to get in. And he accesses 1. It is a hedge fund, so
Got some more in there. Yep. Plays. Advance. 1.
It's on 6.
There goes the Beal.
Oh, he even had the beanstalk. See, I think I would have beanstalked.
Colby looking for anything, any legwork or something to get in there. Maker's Eye, but I mean the R&D is sealed off pretty well. Colby's sitting at 3 credits.
Yeah.
I think this may just be
Yeah,
maybe into the line for him.
he hasn't found another clone chip, another SMC, or his code gate breaker, and that's
And for
is the only
Shaper
thing
not to find
hurting
clone
him.
chips and
Yeah,
SMCs
right.
is kind of amazing. Has he played? Let's see what's in his archives or his heap. Scavenge, Cypher. I mean, I guess he could try to. Well, I'm looking to see if there's anything that he can use same old thing on to help himself out, but it doesn't even look like there's any test runs or anything to help him.
you could
pull
same old
stuff out of
thing
his
for
archive.
Diesel to draw. Oh, and he's interesting. He's dirty laundering into HQ.
I mean, he still needs econ. He's still sitting on low credits. So
He
even if
wishes he
doesn't
had
pull
that hedge
anything-
fund. But now he gets 5 money, right? There we go. Aaron reminds him. Being a good opponent, an honorable opponent. 1 click left here for Colby.
And do we see the winning agenda in Aaron's hand? No. So we know that Colby is kind of burning his wheels here, but he can't really get into R&D right now.
Sees
So
the other Sand.
Aaron draws. I mean, he has the Sansan and an Astro counter, so he can even afford to draw for his first click and see. But no, he just goes ahead and takes the money off the
I
beanstalk.
don't think he does have the agenda in hand. Yeah, no, it's 2 pieces of ice, Sand,
Well, saying
hedge.
the Astro script on the board, not an agenda. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Lucky find, and with 2 prepaid, yep, so he can go ahead and get back in the money again. Does he have any way to reliably deal with a toll booth? I mean, he has a stem hack in hand, so he could SMC and go find it, but he needs to draw the SMC. He needs to draw a clone chip to get the SMC. Any of these things. Oh, there's his legwork.
He could have used that a couple of turns ago.
Yeah, at this point, anytime an agenda touches his hand, it's gone.
Yeah. Because Colby still hasn't found an answer to Flare.
Things that people don't expect to see. Most of Aaron's deck, and I'm looking at Colby's deck list. I think it's going to be a little surprising as well. We're going to see 2 very different NBNs playing here in the finals. And I think Colby has gotten to that point where he feels that futility and he's trying to convince himself there's something he can do here, but unless he suddenly splashed some cutlery in there, then I don't think this is gonna go well for him. I wish you guys could see what's going on behind the scenes here. We're a high-tech bunch.
Hey, man, paper airplanes are how we pass messages. What can I say?
We don't get all the fancy gizmos that our lead gets.
Yeah, what do people expect me to do? Like, type to somebody? Text to somebody? No, please. I'm entirely focused.
Oh, and there's a Maker's
Game in
Eye,
front of
so
me.
if he can get into
Yeah, that
R&D,
Can
that's
be
what
relevant,
he needed.
Yeah,
At
yeah
least
I
lock
was
it.
expecting to see an RDI at some point here. Didn't look like it.
At least the Makers might buy him a couple of turns.
Yeah, it'll at least give him that information. But again, he's got to get through that
He
toll
still
booth
doesn't
and
have a
that
code gate breaker.
Eli, so
I mean,
Yeah,
he does
I mean,
have a
even-
scavenge now, so he could scavenge out one of his 2 programs.
Yeah.
He could possibly scavenge out the dog to go
the
find
problem is then
a
that
cyber
loses
cipher.
him his barrier breaker, which at this point he doesn't need
Well, yeah, he has admin.
because
to
he
get
has
to the
admin.
barriers.
But
I mean, scavenge out the dog, put out cyber cipher on R&D, make a Maker's Eye run there.
yeah, or even a data sucker at this point would get him through, right? Because he just runs archives and then can afford to get through toll booth.
Yep. I mean, he has to get the data sucker
Yeah,
counter, though.
I
He
mean,
doesn't go run, so you have to
exactly.
run archives first.
Yeah, I mean, a data sucker gets him through flare as well if he can get some archive runs in. There he is. He's scavenging the dog.
Scavs it out, pulls it, and let's see what he grabs.
Probably the Cyber Cipher or an SMC, honestly.
Boom.
But, yep,
point for
there it is.
Randall.
So, yeah, he's going to go for the Maker's Eye run.
And I think he's going to just save a couple of bucks there. Yep, Maker's Eye for 1. It's going to cost him 4 to go through the toll booth and 2 to go through Eli. That's going to cost 6 to go through the toll booth. I'm sorry. Pump,
Wow,
no 5.
nothing.
Yeah, pump, brake, and 3. So 5. I was right.
So at this point,
And
Aaron wants to get through his deck. Oh, no, he's got Beal in hand. Never mind. That's going to do it.
I mean, he has the leg work, but there's no way he's getting into HQ. We're just kind of waiting for it now.
Oh, he's going to try and kill the...
I mean, and I guess that's not a bad
Same,
play.
same.
I mean, at least then he can't score on an NAPD on his turn. He has to legit draw the 3-pointer, but Aaron has it. Yeah. That's all it's going to do is save him from the NAPD.
Yeah.
So there's game 1. So they are tied at 11 points apiece, and this next game is going to decide who gets the third invitation.